And today we are going to work on the perspective and in the Illustrator. Like we will learn how we can do the perspective drawings inside Illustrator. Now there are three different type of perspectives, and we will see what they are. The first one is basically the 1 point. Okay. Now the 1 point perspective is where you have only a one perspective view. Okay, like you have like sidelines, and then you have horizon, just like you can see in the image. This is a 1 point perspective. You have the horizon line, which is 1 point, and then you have the other which are the front side. So front and side, that's what the 1 point perspective is. And the same that you have on the left side is mirrored on the right side. So that's how it works actually. Then we have the 2 point perspective. Now 2 point perspective is a little different than the 1 point perspective, because here in the 2 point perspective we don't have only like a one side, or like one side, or you can say a horizon. Here we have three sides: a 3D ground plane, or one side perspective, like going in the perspective direction, other side going in the perspective direction, and there are two vanishing points. So that's why it is called the 2 points. So there are two vanishing points inside the 2 point. In 1 point perspective, there is only one vanishing point. In the 2 points perspective, we have two vanishing points. Okay. And then we have here one more, okay, which is, you can see that basically which is known as the 3 point. Now inside 3 point, you will see there are 3 points. One you can see is basically like a like vanishing point, which is on the top, then one, and the other one on the ground. So there are three you can say a perspective points over here. So if we see that as an image, so you will see this is how a 3 point perspective is drawn on the screen. So you can see that how it is drawn. This is basically the three perspective, two on the top and one on the bottom. Okay, so this is the 3 point perspective. But what we are going to do here is we'll start with a 1 point. So you can now move to your Microsoft Teams and we will start from there. Okay. So the perspective drawing works with the perspective options. So if you don't have the perspective options, what you have to do, you have to go to these three dots here. Okay, so once you click it, so you will find here these two options. So these you have to drag over here, one inside another. So I already dragged it, so I cannot, so I don't have them here anymore, because I already dragged both of them. Okay, so first drag the perspective grid tool, and inside the perspective grid tool, you can drag perspective selection tool. So they both works together. Now to activate the perspective drawing, you just have to go select the perspective grid tool, and you will have the grid over here. Now this is 1 point. If you want to change 1 point to 2 point or 3 point, you have to go on the top in the view, okay, perspective grid. Then if you want 1 point, choose 1 point and 1 point view. If you want 2 point, 2 point view. If you want 3 point, then 3 point view. Right now we are working on the 1 point. But if you don't want to see this anymore, you want to work normally, hide the grid and you will be back to normal. And if you want, just click it back, okay, and it will be there. Or you can go back to view, perspective grid, and show grid. Okay. Now, how will it work? To work with it, once it is on and you want to create something, like, you will take a rectangle tool from here, draw something over here, and you can see how my cursor looks like right now. So just notice my cursor, it's got changed. So that means if I will draw anything here, that will be in the perspective view. Okay. So I am now in the perspective view, and this is how I'm able to draw it. I will undo that, and here are my perspectives. Okay, so I have my grid number 1, which is this side, then the bottom horizontal grid, which is bottom here. So if I will select this one, so I will be working on this green. If I will click this one, I will be working on the blue. So if I'm working on the blue grid, I will when I will draw, it will draw something like this. If I will choose the bottom one, which is the horizontal, the green one, if I will draw something, it will be like this. Okay, and these one, basically this is for it will not work because it is not activated for 1 point. This is for 2 point or 3 point. So only this one, okay, the side and the horizontal one, it will work on your perspective grid. Now suppose I have drawn it on this one. Okay, so you will see that I am on my let me click here. I have drawn this one, and now I want to resize it. So if I will resize it, you will see that it is resizing like a normal file, not in the perspective, which is not you want, because what you want to do is that stick to the perspective. So how you will scale it up and how you will modify it by staying on the perspective. To do that, what simple you need to do is you have to make sure that you click over here, okay, and you should have perspective selection tool. When you have the perspective selection tool, now if you will resize this one, okay, in any direction, so you can see that it is kind of restricting you to stay on the perspective. Okay, this is how the perspective actually works. Now let's do something. Let's draw some buildings over here on both sides and a floor over here like a road. So to do that, what we can do is that instead of drawing it over here on the perspective, one thing you can do is that you can just take your tool, okay, you can hide this perspective right now grid and draw normally first like a building that you want. Now I want a building to be a little darker. I will choose a darker color over here. Okay, now I want windows, so I will deselect this, start making windows, but window I want it to be okay, so no problem if you're late, Salman. So we are just doing the perspective drawing here. Okay, so basically what I explained is that perspective is more like drawing on a vanishing point, like a 3D drawing, you can say that. Okay, so after the class you can go to the YouTube and you can find the stream over there which will explain you clearly. So here I will draw windows, and this window I will make it with some other color so that it can differentiate. So I can just make a smaller window here, put it somewhere, okay, and I will duplicate this one. Now once this is duplicated, I will duplicate them down. And what I'm pressing on the keyboard, you already know, Alt key, A-L-T. Alt is to select and duplicate. So if I will move with the Alt key, it will move the duplicate, not the original one. And you will notice that these purple guidelines here are guiding me the space. So it will restricting me to stay on the same space here. Okay, or maybe delete the last row, and here I can make like a door or something like that. Okay, so I have something as this. Okay, and what I will do here is that I will select all of it and here I will choose merge, okay, in the pathfinder that you have learned in the last class, so it will become like a 1. Okay, now this is the building itself, and now I want to do a side of it. Now side of the building, I can just make a normal side, okay, without any color, or like without any windows or anything, or I can duplicate this one here, and what I can do is that I will just select this part here, either delete it, but it will make a hole. So instead of deleting this, I will give it same color of the building. But first I have to change the building color here. So because this will be the side of the building, so it should be little lighter, because maybe the light is falling on the sides but not on the front side. So on the left side it is falling, so maybe this will be little brighter. So same color but kind of bright. Okay, so that's what I will do here. And this one I will use the same color, so it will become just like the same thing. And I can select and unite it and arrange and send to back, so everything goes back. Okay, send to backward. Okay, now I will take these here, all these windows. Now just like what I did at this point is I have changed the color of the side of the building, because maybe the light is falling over here, so that's why it's making it a little brighter. Same thing I will do with the window. Instead of this bluish color, I will make a slight bright blue color here. Okay, okay, so they are now same. Now I will just put them aside, turn on my perspective grid. Now what I want here is that I want to bring this inside this perspective. Right now it's not perspective, it's more like a 2D drawing. So there is no perspective in it. So what I will do, I will take first this one, okay, and then I will activate my ground plane here, and also I will just go here and choose the perspective selection tool, click on the ground plane here, and with the help of this perspective selection tool, whatever I will click and drag here will go on that side. Now it is on the ground, but I don't want this to be on the ground, I want it to be on the perspective here. Okay, so if I will select this part, okay, and if I will bring it here, so it will become like a perspective just like this. But actually I don't want that. What I want it is to do is I want to just bring it here, okay, anywhere here, just keep it for a moment, and then take this one and I will choose my perspective selection tool, go back here, choose this left grid, bring it here somewhere, and you will see that it's now already there. Now this one I will choose without the selection tool and just put it here normally. Okay, move it down somewhere, and what else I can do here is scale it up, scale it down the way I want. Now you will notice that I have a nice 3D looking building over here. Now I can take this one with my perspective selection tool, press Alt on my keyboard and drag it to the other side. Okay, but first I have to copy this one and then move it to the other side here. Okay, let's do one thing. because what I did wrong was that I should have made copy of it. So let me undo this one, what I did. First, let me make some copies here, and then I will try to bring it down. So suppose you want 4 buildings. So let's talk about 4 buildings here. So I will make 4 copies. And each one of these copies, what I will do here is that I will try to change their color. Okay, so I can go to each one of this building and go to the recolor option. So if I will go to the recolor option, I can easily change the color of it. So you can see that there are 2 colors which are shown over here. Okay, that means one is the building main color, other one is the window color. So here, if I will move this one, okay, so you will see that the both colors are moving at the same time, and you can easily change your uh, building color here. Okay, so everything will change by itself. Now I'll select this one, recolor this one as well. Same greenish but more light, so it will look like it's a side. Okay, now I will do exactly the same thing here and choose this one. And this time I will choose a different color here. For this as well. Okay, let me put them both of them together. Now just turn. So recoloring basically help you to uh, quickly change the colors. Okay, I will select this. Okay, now we have all this already. Now one thing I will do here is that I will give them layers. Now anything that is on the front row, I will put them in the front row layer. So the first is the front row. So 2 buildings will be on the front row. Then I will make another and I will call this one back row. So I will take these 2, okay, and put them in the back row. Okay, if you have any issues in submitting the assignments, first of all, you can send me on the on my email, or you can put it on the chat window. On email is more better, but it's you have to check also with Deepu in the IT, because issue is that if you are not able to like get it fixed, your Microsoft Teams, this issue, so I will have in the end problem uploading your grades, because if you cannot upload it there, I cannot upload, and the whole system is connected. So then I will not be able to grade you. So there will be an issue. So just check with Deepu, tell him about your issue, and he will solve it, because temporarily you can email me, but the issue will be in the end. Then I will have some problems while I'm grading the final. Okay. Now what I will do here is that, you're welcome. Okay. Now I have all these pairs of the the building. So what I will do here is that I will just take this one, go to my perspective, and when I will drag this one, it will become perspective. Okay, so I will just drag it here somewhere, and then I can make it smaller the way you want it to be. It's totally up to you how smaller you want, how taller you want. Okay, when you are done, you just go and take this building and make sure you are not inside this, because I want now a flat view. For flat view, I don't need anything. I don't need, the perspective tool. Perspective tool is for the perspective drawing, because this front is flat, so it doesn't need any kind of perspective. That's all. You can see how I have made this one. Now, let's talk about the other side. So I will bring these here. Exactly the same thing I will do. The brighter side, which is this side, I will take this one. Okay, go back to my perspective and drag it here to this side. Now I don't want to take it to this side, so I will bring it here this side. So you can switch the side, but just by dragging. Totally up to you. Now this one, I will make it slightly taller. Okay, but narrower. Okay, so I want to put this on the same ground level. Now I'm done with this. I will take this one, put it next to it, and this one together. So you can see easily I was able to create something like a 3D building. Now I'm done with this layer. I will lock this layer from here, unhide and unlock the other layers, which means this one. Now first of all, I will take these and work with these, and then I will work with the front side, because for the front side I have to hide this one so I can at least see what's going on. Now here I will take this, go back to my perspective selection tool, drag it here somewhere. Okay, and you can see that it is hiding this. This layer should be underneath, so I will move this under. So it should be behind this layer. Now it is fine. So I will make this one a little bit taller. Okay. Now I will take the other one, do the same thing, put it a little bit behind and make it even more taller and a little bit more wider. Now I'm done with this part, so I will hide this top layer so I can see these clearly. Now I'm done with the perspective part, so now I will be doing the flat part here. So just by putting this without this tool, because this tool creates perspective, I'm just taking my normal selection tool. Okay. Okay. Now I'm done with this part. Now I will hide both of these layers, and you can see how clearly it makes a 3D-ish view of it. Now what I need here is to make a road or something here. So I will make a new layer completely on the top and call this one road. And here I will take my box, take a grayish color, because road color is grayish, and here I will use the horizontal grid now, so that I can draw on the floor. Now I'm not using these two, I'm working on the floor. So I will draw from the bottom, so it will create something like this. Now you can click over here to fix it. This is for fixing. Okay, Maybe I think it's better to put it underneath so you can see at least the building here. Now when I'm done, what I can do, I can take my rectangle tool again and make sure you are on this horizontal, and if you see this icon, that means you will be drawing on this horizontal grid. Okay, so I will draw now a white box here just for the lines, something like this. So I will take my selection tool here, the grid selection tool, and with the help of this I can move it around, and pressing alt key will make a copy of it, and I can easily make a copy and move them far apart. Okay, something like that. Okay, and one more thing I can do here is that I can just make this road a little bit, I can take this road, make it a little wider from both sides, so it will cover the whole thing. Now as you can see that we have everything been done here. So I hope this is clear how to do this one. Now the perspectives here are interchangeable. Interchangeable means if you will go here, take your perspective grid tool again, you will see these points. Okay, so let me hide all these for a while and you will see these points here. Now this point here will change your perspective direction, something like this. Now if I will go back here, you will see everything is as it is. It is not changed because those are already created. This is for the new drawing. So if I will make a new layer, for example, okay, and draw something over here, so you will see that, let me select this wall. So you can see that now it is drawing in this way. It is now more wider. Okay, so now my perspective is more wider. And if I delete this, if I go back here, this is, the width of your perspective actually. From here, okay. So this is, you can change your perspective width. Now here, this is the horizon level, like how much, how deeper you can see from how high your angle is, okay, your eye level. So maybe I'm standing on a building right now and watching this road. It looks like that. But if I will move it quite up, so that looks like eye level, like I'm standing there or I'm on the ground laying down and watching this. If I will bring it in the middle, so this is the eye level, normal eye level. So this helps you to create a eye level here. Okay, so this is the width of your perspective, how wider you can see. Maybe if you have a wide angle camera lens, okay, and can be done. Basically, as we are studying the Illustrator, so it's better to stick with the Illustrator. That's the whole point of the course. Okay, this can be done on number of software. Whatever we have learned so far can be done on different software, but our main goal is to work on that using the Illustrator. So that's the whole point. So try to just stick to the Illustrator. Okay, so don't work on any other application other than the Illustrator. Now these are the your like visual cue, like visual points, like the way you are looking at it. Then there are other points, like here you have this point and you have these points. These are just like your kind of settings. You cannot change this one right now, but just to show you around. The ones that are gray, you can change it. Okay, so this is how actually it will work. Now as you are in one point, so these cannot be changed. Only thing that can be changed are the gray one. Now when I'm done, I can just simply go here, perspective grid, and hide my grid. Now I can take all this, and this is now not a 2D anymore. If you're running out of trial, just check with Deepu. Like he have all the licenses. Just take the license from there, and it will be renewed. Okay, because university is providing all the students with the licenses. So you have to take the license from him, and it will be renewed. Now here you can see that I'm done. Okay, now this is not a 3D anymore, it's 2D. It has become 2D now. Okay, so you can put it wherever you want, draw whatever you want to do with this. So this is basically how you do with a 1 point. Okay, now let's try and see 2 points. Okay, so I will create a new file here. Go back to my grid. It will turn this on. View, smart grid perspective, 2 point, and the 2 point. So basically what you're looking at is the 2 point. Now if I will change this one, you can see that I can change all this just like this, the same way. This is two sides, and this is one like this is the floor level. Okay, now suppose I want to change this one. Now from here as well I can change it. I can push the ground in. Okay, so I can change my eye level. This is basically your eye level. This is the whole thing, so we don't usually change that. Okay, and this is the grid of side grid. Okay, so it will be smaller. Suppose you want to make a book, so for that it looks good. Okay, and this is the height, so something you want to make a smaller one. Okay, and this is the height from the bottom. Okay, now what I will do here is that I will just make it something going in bottom floor, just like that. Make it a little bigger. Okay, and a little bit more wider from the both sides, so I can have more place. So that's I have done. Now one thing I can do here is that, let me do one thing. Let me make this one a little bit shorter, or this one a little bit longer, and this is one a little bit shorter here. Okay, now when I'm done, I will now have three ways to work on. I have this orange, blue, and green. Okay, so let's do one thing here. Let's make a floor on the green one. So I will take this rectangle tool, draw it on the floor. Okay, so if you will see, if I will draw from this side, I will get this kind of floor. Let me do one thing here. No outline, and any color I can put it here. Maybe I want to make a blue floor. So if I will draw from this side, you will see the floor will be something like this. It is drawing from this end. If I will draw from this side, so you will see it will be a little bit different. It will be drawing from this end. Okay, and if I will do from the middle, so it will be in between these two. So I can do something like this, and then with the help of my perspective tool, I can increase the size of it. Okay, good. Now I will make a new layer. This I will call floor. Now here what I will do is that, just like what I did before, I will not draw over here, because sometimes it's a bit confusing when you draw something here. I will take my rectangle tool here. Okay, now I will draw with a normal selection, with a normal tool. So I will hide this. Control Shift I is the shortcut to hide your perspective grid, and I will draw something normal here. and let's do a speaker. Just up for a little bit of an interest, I will type something here. And I will change the color. Now what I will do here is that I will just go to my ellipse tool, make something like this, and put a gradient color over here inside this one. Okay, double click here. I will choose radial type gradient and change it to maybe black. Outer one I will change it to something else. Okay. Maybe I will put 3 colors here. Okay, now I will make another one. Okay, so now once this is done, I have used the gradient tool basically here. Put this one behind. Here I will choose a little bit lighter color. Okay, I will take this, put it somewhere here. Just so it can look like it's a speaker basically. Now once this is done, I will select all of it and I will merge them together. Okay, one thing is that the text have to be an shape. So if I will go to the type and create outline, so it will become like a shape now. Now I can merge them because you cannot merge anything which is not a shape. So I have to convert the text into shape, now merge it. Now they are together. Now only thing what I need here is that to create another box which is the side one, and I will choose a little bit lighter color than what I have here. Okay, and same thing as this I will draw here as well, so there will be a little bit consistency. And I will give it the same color as this one. Okay, and these I will also merge. Now when I'm done, I will go to my perspective grid tool. Then I will take my perspective tool, drag this one, but first I have to choose where I want to drag it. I want to drag it here, so I will drag this at this part, put it wherever I want. Now I will select the other part. Now I will take this one, put it somewhere here. Okay, you can make it smaller or bigger, it's totally up to you. But you know, it's a speaker, so it should look like this. Now when I'm done, I can go back here, my perspective grid, I can hide this, and you can see that how we were able to make it like a speaker box or something. So you can make books, you can make anything else. And you can make like different items with the help of this uh, perspective too. But you have to keep in mind when you are doing this, you have to keep the colors in your mind, because one side is always hit by the light, other side is darker. So you have to decide which side you want to hit with the light. The side which you want to hit with the light, you can use whatever color you want. But the side which is not hitting the light can have the same color but the darker shade of that. So I use the same color of this brown, darker shade. I use the same color of this beige but darker shade. So it will produce something like an illusion that this is something that is not hit by the light. This is something that is hit by the light. Okay. So this is what you can do, and you can make one more here just to create a shadow, a little bit shadow on the floor. Okay, and that can become like your shadow part. For example, if I will go here, duplicate this floor, okay, and then take this floor and change the color of this floor to maybe black or something, and I can turn on my perspective grid here, show grid. Make sure you have this on. So if the light is hitting here, so the shadow should be at the back. So here should be the shadow. When I'm done, I will just go back here, hide grid, back here, and you can see that I have this. Let me do one thing. This is too dark. I cannot see the shadow here clearly. Okay, now it's fine. Now simple what I need to do, as you know, there are effects. So you can select this one, okay, and you can go to effects, or you can go to the properties here. Down there you have appearance, or you have this effects. You have these kind of effects here, like let's find if there is any blur effect. No, blur is only in the Photoshop. So you can go to the Photoshop, choose blur, Gaussian blur, choose whatever blur value you want, press OK, and you will have the shadow there. So you have to just move it up so it will look realistic. Or I think I have made it too blurry. That's why it's not looking that realistic. So I have to reduce the blurry value like a little bit. And then, you can go to the appearance option here, and then you can go to the opacity here, reduce the opacity, and that's also what you can do. Okay, so you can create an something like that. And let's increase this a bit here. Okay. So this is a 2-point perspective. Now let's try 3-point perspective here. So I will go here, new, same file, I will use it. I'll turn on my perspective grid. Okay, and this time I will choose 3 points. Now you can see that 3 points is kind of like a 1 point, or sorry, 2 point, but it have one more viewport on the top. So if I will move this one, you can see that I can move different kind of areas. Like if I want to make it upwards, now this will become 2 points, so I don't want the 2 points, so I want to keep this one there. So there's 1, 2, 3 points over here. That's why it's called 3 points. You can change these values here. Okay, you can move this or whatever you want. You can make it narrower or far away, or it's totally up to you. I will just move it up here. So from here you can move the whole thing, and these are the settings, the way you want it to be. So what I will do here is that same thing. I will take the building. Okay, for now I will hide this one. Now I will make a building here with no stroke and any color that you want it to have. Okay, now just I will take this one, put some windows on it, and as you want the buildings, the windows, just copy that. Okay, so now what I will do here is that I will select this one, put one copy here, and this one, the whole thing I will turn into this color, or maybe this color, and the building have to be in this color, so that will create something like this. And now I will merge them. Okay, now I will put this side here, and I will make now the rooftop. So rooftop can be this color, okay, or a little bit darker here, or maybe this is fine. And then what I will do here is that I will just go here, make another box inside, and this box, what I can do is that I can make it even more lighter. Put them and merge them together. And lastly, just for sake of a little bit artistic touch, or you can say something for fun, okay, what I will do here is that okay. And then I have to convert this into outlines, so it will become like a shape. Now I can select all of it and merge it. Without converting the text into a shape, you cannot use them in pathfinders, okay, or in clipping or creating shapes. Now what I will do here is that just put this aside, go back to my perspective grid and show the grid. And now I will take the same tool that I have been using a lot, the select tool. Now from top, I will take the left one, put this on the left side, just like this. Okay. And but before doing that, let's fix this perspective, because from here, it's kind of a little bit. Okay. So I will just scale this one down. Okay. Now what I will do here is that once I'm done, I will take the other side, take this one and put it on the other side, just like this. And try to put them in one perspective of the file. That's all. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll take this one, take the ground, this one. Okay. And put this there. Now I will just go back here and turn my perspective. I have my grid off. They all are in one part. They all have become one. Two. Oh, sorry. They all are now became the perspective. So I can change this their side or something just like that. So you can see that how we can have it having this thing. And then what I can do here is that as simple. I will just tick the box here. And use this. And merge them. Okay, so this is how you can do the 3 points drawing mode. Okay. So this is the 3-point perspective. So you can see that in 1-point perspective, you have one vanishing point. Okay. Here in the 2 points perspective, you have 2 vanishing points like here and here. 3-point, you have 3 vanishing points like here, here, and then you have this one here. Okay. So I hope this is all clear. Is there any question you have regarding the perspectives drawings inside the like after in Illustrator? Okay, so this is basically the like 1-point perspective. This is the 2-point perspective. This is the 3-point perspective. So I hope everything is clear. And if you have any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so this is how we actually do. You can see that, and try to use this in your drawings and your like any other option, like like options or in any other your project, and which it will give you more interesting stuff here. Okay, so you can do more complex drawing with this. The one that we did right now is very basic one. This is not something we have done like a very much advanced. It's all basic that we have done here. So you can do more advanced stuff with this. Okay, so guys, take care, and next time we will move to our next tutorial, which will be based on 3D, how we can work on the 3D, and just keep on working on your projects. And if you have any question, anything, just let me know. And do please check your rubrics when you are doing your projects, because in rubrics there are things mentioned that you have to cover, because if you're missing anything there, you might lose your points for that. Okay, and any technical issue, just check with the Deepu, and he will solve your problem as soon as possible. Okay, so guys, take care, and we'll meet on Wednesday. Okay.